Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Anime Freak here, and, well, internet, you drove me to this. Dear God. I didn't think I'd have to make this one. I was prepared to make it, but I didn't think I'd have to make it. I mean, good Lord. If you haven't figured it out by now, Ben Affleck is Batman. Every time you say that, someone on the internet threatens suicide. I mean, really, internet? Like, you're having that big of a reaction to it? The dude's Batman now. Get over it. I mean, come on. I distinctly remember before The Dark Knight Rises came out, they announced Heath Ledger as the Joker, and people went nuts like that. And even my mom remembers back in the 80s when Michael Keaton was first said, "Oh, we're putting him in the Batman movie as Batman." People were like, "No, because he does nothing but comedies and he won't be a good actor." And then he was the best Batman of all time. So shut up, internet, and move on with your life. Dear God. Just really? Really? I get mad about stuff just because you're too stupid to see past the fact that he's Batman now. Okay, maybe we won't get cancer voice anymore. You know, it's just, It's like the fan reaction to the redesign of Lobo. If that is Lobo. I mean, they still haven't even said that. It could be someone else. It could be Lobo's son, for all we know. I haven't looked too deep into this one. They might have actually come out and said it's Lobo. Not like it anyway. I mean, Lobo doesn't have to be a gigantic, muscle-bound. He doesn't have to be Randy Savage, basically. Which is exactly what he is. But Ben Affleck Batman. I'm down with it. Okay, just wait till the movie comes out. Once the movie comes out, then make your decision. DC is trying something for real. Like, do you know how hard that is for DC to actually try something new? I mean, they could have easily just made another Batman movie, never had a connected universe, never put them together. But they did. So, get over it. He's Batman. He's Batman, he's Batman, he's Batman. He's the motherfucking Batman. He's old Batman. Which is actually surprising that they're going with such an old Batman, but makes sense. Because to physically fight Superman, he'd have to be older. He'd have to be experienced. Which, some people have an issue with that because then we won't get to see him fight the Joker or, you know, some of his more iconic characters. But my point of view on it is, well, you know, one, this lead ways for us to have Nightwing. Not Robin, but Nightwing. Which sounds awesome to me. I really hope they interconnect that. Excuse me. I'd take a drink of water. So I think the idea of having them interconnect would be good, you know. I would love that. Nightwing's one of my favorite Bat-related characters of all time, and to, you know, have him finally show up in the movies would be amazing. You know, we had Dick Grayson show up as Robin, but I'd like Nightwing. Who would I like to see as Nightwing? Matt Damon. Why even ask? Just Matt Damon. Just put Matt Damon as Nightwing. Come on, man. It works. Ben Affleck's Batman, Matt Damon's Nightwing, and then the synergy between those two like carry the Batman series forward. Do I think that they're gonna get him back for multiple Batman movies? Maybe. They haven't released any details on the deal, and DC has a tendency not to sign characters several times, but with roles so iconic, a lot of actors tend to return, so there's a lot of times when they don't even need to sign multiple movies because the actor comes back. They're like, "Oh, you're making another Batman movie? I want in." So, you know, I want to ride out this Batman generation as long as I can. You know, and they managed to get Michael Keaton for at least 2 movies, and then they switched up to Val Kilmer, and really they could do that again. It just depends how iconic he gets, you know. They got lucky back in the 80s and 90s because Michael Keaton being one of the most iconic Batmans, by Batman Forever they kind of had redesigned, kind of pseudo reboot the universe, that universe of Batman. So picking a new actor for Batman was a good idea. The George Clooney Batman was a bad idea. Batman and Robin, not an awful movie because the villains in that movie I think saved it. Dr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dr. Freeze was just friggin' amazing. Because he fit the character perfectly, and he got the accent right. And most people don't realize that that is Dr. Freeze's accent. That's his backstory. You know, he had an accent like that because of where he was from, and he fit the character and accent. Poison Ivy was pretty good in it, you know. So, it was okay. I don't think George Clooney was the right role for Batman because I think the problem is he just doesn't seem like the right role for Batman, and I think he faces the same trouble that Ben Affleck's gonna face with being Batman, in the fact that he's Ben Affleck. He's gained traction and he's popular at this point in time, so people aren't going to go see it because it's a Batman Superman movie. They're going to go see it because it's Ben Affleck in a movie. Do I think he could do a really good Batman? I think he could do a really good Batman. He's a good actor. I don't think this role will not fit him at all. I think it will fit him perfectly. Have you seen Daredevil? They're essentially, Batman and Daredevil aren't that much different, except one's blind and a lawyer, and the other one's psychotic and a billionaire. But other than that, the personality is right around the same. Matt Murdock has a lot more sense of humor, and Batman can't laugh at shit. You make Batman laugh, you can destroy God at that point. So I think he will fit the character good because he's managed to play characters like him. And, you know, I think the role will fit him good. A fun fact, I've never actually seen Man of Steel. I wanted to see it when it came out in theaters, but being broke sucks. You know, and I figured movies or food. Food works a little bit better for me. Having electricity and having internet and having the house paid off worked for me. So I never actually got to see Man of Steel. By the time I did have the money to see it, it was already out of theaters. Well, we have 2 movie theaters in my town. One's a 4 theater rooms, 4 screens, shows 4 different movies. It changes out every other Thursday as the movies come out, and they hold movies for about a week or 2. If they're really popular like Man of Steel, they may hold it for a month. But you know, I wasn't able to see it, so I'm gonna wait till it comes out on DVD, or at least till I get torrent it. Cause it's Man of Steel, but I'm gonna buy it on DVD anyway. So when it comes out on DVD, I'm gonna get in and watch it. I've heard some mixed reactions about it. I've heard people say that it's completely awful and a piece of shit, and I've heard people say it's one of the best Superman movies they've seen in a while. So I'm kind of excited to see it, because I really am. And you know, I think I'm gonna like it because I'm a huge Superman fanboy, so I'm probably gonna like it anyway. But you never know. I thought I was gonna like Superman Returns, but Zack Snyder is such a stupid piece of shit. Oh, just the level of FU in that movie was horrible. I hate Scott Snyder. Oh, not Scott Snyder. Bryan Singer. Scott Snyder had nothing to do with Superman Returns. What the hell am I thinking? Bryan Singer. I hate that man with a passion. Scott Snyder, I like you. I like 300. I liked Watchmen. You're doing good. I did like Watchmen. I thought it was pretty good. I don't like the old Watchmen. I never liked the comic book, but the movie wasn't bad. But just what do I want out of Man of Steel 2? Not having seen Man of Steel 1, what do I want out of Man of Steel 2? Instantly, I want Lex Luthor, because those Easter eggs, those little hints at him throughout the universe are so scattered over the internet, I couldn't friggin' avoid it. I mean, I knew I wanted Batman when they showed the Wayne Tech logo on that satellite. Again, thank you, internet, for spoiling stuff like that for me. So I knew I wanted Batman. So we knew we were gonna get Batman. That was coming. They didn't even have to show Wayne Tech. They just had to show one logo, and people were like, "Yep, it's Batman." They're doing Batman. Of course, I want Lex Luthor. I think he'd be a good main villain to fight. I don't want Darkseid. I want them to save Darkseid for one of two movies: the Justice League movie, which I think that they would be stupid to rush into so soon. Or a Holy Trinity movie, which would be Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I think that would be a good choice. That could be the best first Justice League movie. With the way they're introducing characters, I think introducing them through Superman would be a good choice, especially with Wonder Woman, because Batman can stand on his own. They could go over and just say, we'll just make it a Batman movie, not a Batman-Superman movie, and people will go see it because it's Batman. But I think Wonder Woman's a hard sell. Being not as popular as Superman or Batman, still one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. She's a harder sell than Batman is or Superman is. So putting her through a Superman movie, maybe Man of Steel 3, and basically saying, here's Wonder Woman, that would be a good choice. Because a lot of the other characters to stand on their own, like the Flash. We're getting a TV show out of the Flash. The easiest thing I think that you do with Arrow, they could still easily do it is, they're adding superpowers in Arrow now with season 2. So what you do is you build up these characters through TV shows, and they become popular, and people like them, and then you take the same actors and the same characters, and you just make a movie. You make a big movie, and you release it out in theaters, and the fan base of those shows will come, and the fan base of those characters will come to see it. And Arrow, I think, is kind of ramping it up, because they're adding in Black Canary, they're adding in the Flash. There very well could be the Green Lantern in there, be it Ryan Reynolds, which I'm okay with, because I thought Ryan Reynolds did a good job as the Green Lantern. I just thought the movie sucked. He wasn't a bad Green Lantern, it's just the writing in the movie was bad. I think he was a good cast for the character. People say, oh, it's his fault that the character sucked. It's like, no, the writing was just terrible. He wasn't that he was a bad actor or a bad choice, because he fit Hal Jordan. Just like Deadpool. He fit Deadpool. Okay? The Deadpool you want to have happen will never happen. Just get over that idea. But I'll rant on about Deadpool another time. So, kind of introducing those three characters through Man of Steel would be a good idea, especially Wonder Woman, because she's a really tough sell. Now you get 3 Man of Steel movies, you introduce 2 of the biggest pivotal characters in the universe. either have the third Man of Steel movie be Batman, the Holy Trinity movie with Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, or just have it be Superman, Wonder Woman. But somewhere along those lines, make a Holy Trinity movie where all three of them work together, because that will, help push the Justice League ahead. Because you can't do this like Marvel. This has to be a very different setup than Marvel, because Marvel characters are such interweaved with each other, it's ridiculous. You can't make an Iron Man movie without mentioning Thor, Captain America, or anything else. They didn't even have to make Avengers, just as long as they mentioned S.H.I.E.L.D., Thor, Captain America, and the Hulk, that was it. You didn't even have to make any other movies after that, because you can't make one of them without mentioning any of the others. But with DC characters, they're very separate characters. They only intertwine when DC wants them to intertwine. They don't always do it. Marvel has no choice sometimes. They have to intertwine. They can't just suddenly pull Iron Man out of the rest of the Marvel universe and have him as a set character and have his own comic book, because it just doesn't work. You have to have all these other characters be involved, because it's just fundamentally won't work. They're so intertwined with each other at this point. But the Justice League isn't. They're very separate characters. So, having that said, introducing these very separate characters through each other's movies is a better idea than having individual movies for each of them. I think Batman does need his own individual movie at a certain point. I think DC kind of needs to ramp up their release schedule. I think the problem is they're just scared because they're looking at the 2015 release date and seeing Avengers 2 on that same day, and then seeing all these other movies like Jurassic Park 4 and Pirates of the Caribbean 5 and all these other movies, and just saying, I don't know if this can sell. But it will. Trust me, it will. People like me who have been waiting for this movie for years, since they watched the first Batman movie and heard them mention Metropolis, or they watched the first couple Superman movies and saw all the hints to Batman. We've been waiting. And if you watched I Am Legend and then you saw those posters for like the Teen Titans and the Batman Superman movie, you've been waiting for this for years. So we will put butts in. It will put butts in seats. Do not get me wrong. It will make money. And Man of Steel made enough money to where they said, we're going to make a sequel. We're going to make a Batman Superman movie. I think they're going to make Man of Steel money plus Batman money. Do I think they're ever going to reach Avengers level money? No, but Marvel or freaking Disney are like psychotic evil geniuses with their universe. So I think DC's gonna have to work very hard at this. I don't think DC aren't thinking 3 movies ahead. I think they're thinking movie by movie. Marvel has thought 6 movies ahead, 7 movies ahead. They're thinking all the way to 2021 on what they want to do. I think DC's best approach is to take a very slow and, very calculated path. Don't take 4 years per movie, okay? Distance between these movies are about 2 years, so that's not bad. But I think after this they need to kind of ramp it up, be like, okay, this succeeded. If it does, which I think it will, this succeeded, let's just screw it. Let's just put all our chips in. We need to move forward. Let's just make our universe, because it's happening. They want it. Fans want it, and this would be the perfect way. They want to see Wonder Woman. They want to see more Batman. They want to see more of the Flash and the Green Arrow, and they want to see the Justice League. They want to see Aquaman, because dear God, they need to put Aquaman in his own movie. I'm not one of those fake fans of Aquaman who just joined up because of the New 52. I've always liked Aquaman. Okay, he's always been awesome. I mean, we're talking about a guy who can match, could match in a fist fight with Superman, and could swim as fast as Superman could fly. Could match the Flash in a race, which is, he can't run faster than the Flash, but he could keep up a good pace with the Flash. And he doesn't just talk to fish. I mean, we're talking about the man moves the oceans. I mean, he could literally say, create a tsunami that will engulf all of France or all of England, and boom, it happens. In fact, the Flashpoint Paradox, it hinges on that. Aquaman does that. So I definitely want him to show up. Any more characters I'd like to see in the Justice League movie? Well, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, Green Lantern. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's 3 in the morning while I'm recording this. Who would I want as Green Lantern? Which Green Lantern? Well, definitely Hal Jordan, because I'm a fanboy of Hal Jordan. But, I get some more water, but I guess Jon Stewart would be a good second choice. Who would I want to play Green Lantern? Well, if it's Hal Jordan, I definitely want Ryan Reynolds to try to reprise his role, because I think he did good as Hal Jordan. I just think the movie was written poorly, just a very poorly written movie. It's not that the casting was bad. Again, the movie writing in it was awful. Who would I want as Jon Stewart? The guy who plays Heimdall in the Thor movies, I can't remember his name. He was in Pacific Rim too. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember his name. But I think I know I think y'all know who I'm talking about. Him. I think he'd be a perfect Jon Stewart, because he looks like the character, and he gives off that aura, and I think, just give him a green power suit and a green power ring, and I don't want a CG power suit this time. I want an actual green power suit. Batman gets an actual suit, Superman gets an actual suit. They're both successful. Give Green Lantern an actual suit, it would make it 10 times better. Not that I didn't like the design of the Green Lantern movie suit, I wanted it to be real. I didn't want it to be all CG. A physical suit would be lovely. So really, that's kind of all my thoughts on it. I mean, Ben Affleck, I think he could do an okay job as Batman, if not a great job as Batman. I think Man of Steel 2 could be a great segue into it, because as a Superman fanboy, if you're gonna set up a universe, set it up with one of your greatest heroes in your universe, which would be Superman. And to honestly segue into that would be great. And just segue into it. You start with the greatest team up in the history of comic books in the world, Batman and Superman. And then you just start adding characters through that. I mean, the only real hard character you have to sell isn't the Flash, isn't the Green Lantern, it isn't Green Arrow, it isn't going to be, Aquaman, it isn't going to be Cyborg, which a Cyborg movie would be friggin' awesome. It's not going to be these characters. These characters are going to be easy. It's going to be Wonder Woman. She's not well liked, she is not the most popular of the DC Universe characters. She's one of the most well known, but that doesn't make her the most popular. She's one of my favorite characters in the DC Universe. I mean, I love all the Justice League. Like, the Justice League, the new 52 Justice League, and the old original Justice League. I love them. The new 52 Justice League disappointed me slightly that Aquaman wasn't in it, but it is kind of nice to see him in his own comic kicking a ton of ass. And I think DC has a very, very big opportunity here. Do I think they need to take it? No. I think that they don't need to make a Justice League movie. They don't need to try to compete with Marvel. Marvel had this cinematic idea that just managed to take off. And even now, if one of their movies in Phase 2 goes wrong, the rest of them crumble. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy, if it goes wrong and is not popular, Phase 3 is just gone. It's going to end with Avengers 2. Because they can't physically... Guardians of the Galaxy is the basis of Phase 3, basically. I mean, look at how hard they're pushing it. If it doesn't do good, they're screwed. So, I think Disney and Marvel has an ingenious idea that is so... it's just not built on anything. So, does DC need to create a big shared universe like that? No. Do they need to ever make a Justice League movie? No. But the idea of taking characters and taking other characters and just start adding them into other movies, like a Batman Nightwing movie. Do we need a Batman and Robin movie? No, but I would like a Batman movie that has 3 characters in it. Actually 4, now that I think about it. Nightwing being 1. Red Hood, Jason Todd. Not a Joker Red Hood, but Jason Todd Red Hood. Red Robin and Batgirl. If you put those 4 movies in a Batman, 4 characters in a Batman movie, and I'm telling you right now, you need Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Barbara Gordon. And right then and there, you will make your money back in an instant. Who should be the villain of that? People are gonna want the Joker. No Joker. He's overused. He's the most popular of the Batman villains. He's so overused, it's ridiculous. I'd like to see the Riddler, an older Riddler. Because most people don't realize the Riddler is just insane, if not more insane than the Joker. So, a Riddler. Neil Patrick Harris would be a good Riddler. I saw an image online of that. The Riddler would be a good one. Dr. Freeze would be a good one. I'm not going to go with the Penguin, because I don't want a repeat of the first Batman Penguin. A Tim Burton Penguin. I mean, he wasn't bad. I just didn't like his character that much. Catwoman, definitely. Catwoman's got to be in this. Oh, is she going to be older and in her late 30s, early 40s? Yes. Batman's always been like 5 years older than Catwoman anyway. So yes, Catwoman. Not the shitty Christopher Nolan Catwoman that I can't stand, because that wasn't Catwoman, that was just some bitch in a tight suit. I want the 2 colors. It's either gotta be black or purple, but I want the cat ears. I want like the new 52 version I like, and the old classic purple one I like. She's gotta have the whip, she's gotta have the claws, because if she has neither, I am rage quitting. Because you just... Nolan's third movie was so bad. I mean, it's just, I don't understand where he went wrong with that one. I mean, I like Bane. I mean, I really like Bane. He's one of my favorite Batman villains. And I didn't like his old character because at the time they just did him as a juiced up powerhouse. He was just a juiced up lackey for Poison Ivy. But, you know, at the time, you gotta remember, it was with Poison Ivy, and every man goes stupid with Poison Ivy. So, I sort of forgave him for that. But when they were like, oh, we're gonna put Bane in, it was like, oh, so he's finally gonna be the mastermind that he really is. You know, the genius that he is. You know, because he's essentially Mexican Batman with steroids. And it's like, okay, so he's not gonna have the steroids or the venom. That's fine. We're going for a more realistic twist. He's still gonna have the mask. He's gonna have a mask. Okay, didn't have a problem with the mask. Didn't have a problem with the voice either. Because the story explained it perfectly. He had injuries to his mouth and his throat, or to his mouth, that were constantly hurting him, and he needed a constant stream of morphine. I like that idea if we're going for a realistic approach, like Nolan did. My problem with it is, he wasn't the mastermind. He was like the Mandarin in friggin' Iron Man 3. He was just basically an actor. I mean, come on, Nolan. What the hell? Honest to God, what the hell, Nolan? You just... Really? How could someone screw up something so fundamental? Oh, and then you put Ra's al Ghul's... how the fuck you say his name? Daughter in it. Okay. One, don't put his daughter in it if you're not going to put Damien in it. Okay, I don't want... Okay, so what if it goes full circle? Just don't put his daughter in if you're not going to put Damien in it. And, two, why does she have to be the freaking mastermind? Huh? Why does she have to be the one who comes up with all this crap? Because Bane is not her lackey. And this is like what they did in the Mandarin and Iron Man 3. Not a bad movie, just an awful choice for, just an awful plot twist for a character. I mean, lo and behold, they're gonna introduce magic with Scarlet Witch anyway. She better be magic. I mean, come on. A Scarlet Witch is science. I'm done. I'm done, Marvel. You've failed me. But back to Batman. Ben Affleck. I think he can be an okay Batman. We haven't seen anything from him. We haven't seen a screen test. We haven't seen him in the suit. But I think he can be an okay Batman. Give him a shot. Give him a try. Just give him time. I mean, you never know. He could be one of the best Batmans you've ever seen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Anime Freak having a discussion with you. I'm not going to put this up as a rant, because I just don't feel like it. Because it's not really a rant. It's more of a discussion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, bye.